Hey guys, welcome back to True Crime with Shannon, where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. Well, I wanted to do a brief update from the father of one of the victims who recently spoke with a local Oklahoma channel, debunking many of the rumors and misinformation that is being spread about this case. But for those that are not familiar, before I get to that video, on May 1st, law enforcement went to the home of Jesse McFadden in Henryetta, Oklahoma, and that's where they found 6 people shot dead, as well as Jesse McFadden afterwards shot himself. 7 people were dead on the property. Now, Jesse McFadden is a known SA offender and an artist. He was convicted of first-degree R in 2003 and was released in 2020 for quote-unquote good behavior, which is not really true the more you look into what was going on. He served less than 17 years of that 20-year sentence, and he was supposed to appear in court on that day, May 1st, Monday, May 1st, on charges that he got while being in prison on the original first-degree R charge. Now, he apparently used a contraband cell phone to exchange explicit photos with an underage girl. So and it comes down to where we thought that Holly, the mother of 3 of the teenagers on the property, was just as much of a victim as all the other people on the property besides Jesse. Well, we're learning that that's probably not the case. At least in my opinion, Holly knew just as much about what was going on as Jesse, and I believe she's just as guilty. And if you checked out my last video, a lot of things were found in that home. Apparently, the families were allowed in the home over the weekend, and it should have been a closed-off crime scene. They discovered drug paraphernalia. They found chains, locks, sexual items. The list goes on. And they found 32 cell phones. 32 cell phones that are registered to that address. This is more than a murder-suicide situation. So this case is definitely getting more intense by the day. So let me play the video of Ivy Webster's dad, Justin Webster, speaking to the local Channel 2 News in Oklahoma.
It's been 8 days since convicted rapist Jesse McFadden shot and killed Holly Guess, Tiffany Guess, Riley Allen, Michael Mayo, Brittany Brewer, and Ivy Webster outside this rural property near Henryetta. Justin Webster says he's angry over rumors and what he calls lies from other victims' family members.
You don't do that. It's sick.
Webster says talk of naked Polaroids and bloody underwear is not true. He's texting with investigators following leads.
We were unable to verify it was there and did not locate anything that matched that information.
There is a ledger with names. He and his wife found it when they entered the house before OSBI took over the investigation.
I went out to the deputy and I kind of tossed it at him and I said, here's a list, now start your real investigation.
Webster briefly showed me a photo of it. All of the victims' names are not on it, as from other accounts. Holly Guess's name, a couple of others, and a few first names and dates. Over the weekend, investigators spent nearly 3 days combing through the more than 100 acres and areas of question.
They dug them up with an excavator and they found nothing. The ME left after, a bunch of rumors spread saying that they found more bodies, but they didn't find anything there.
However, inside the house, Justin was told they found more evidence and more electronics.
There was enough electronics in that to run an underground sex ring.
The Webster family's focus now, pushing for harsher punishments for child sex crimes.
These monsters, and that's what they are monsters, should not have rights. They should be locked up in prison the rest of their life and put to death. My message to them is they better run, because America's mad now. We're coming for every single one of them.
The petition also calls to require all schools have an ID scan database system that would flag sex offenders trying to enter the building. They hope to enact the Knights Law, state and eventually nationwide, named after the Henryetta mascot.
So this is the change.org petition that has been started, and they are calling it the Knights Law. It's to oppose Oklahoma sex offender sentencing and probation requirements. I have signed the petition, and I'm going to share the link in the information of this video as well as in my Facebook group. And here is the information that Ashley Mann, who started the petition, like I said, Mr. Webster, Justin Webster, he is backing this 100%. After recent tragedy struck our small community of Henryetta, Oklahoma, we decided to write this petition to help change the law on sentencing and probation terms in Oklahoma for sex offenders. More specifically, child sex offenders. It is our very strong belief that sex offenders cannot be rehabilitated. I completely agree with that. And I am from Florida, and Governor DeSantis is right on this, and he needs to get with the governor of Oklahoma. They need to get on the same platform on this one. Did you know that when a child is SA'd, that they are traumatized and affected with several issues their entire life? Not just PTSD, panic attacks, paranoia, but also actual permanent nerve damage as well. It is a real dilemma. So if a person can SA a child of any age and they have a lifelong trauma from that, isn't it fair that the offender be sentenced to life in prison without parole? We absolutely think so. If they have the nerve to ruin a child's chance at normal life, they deserve no second chances. Bingo. And you can continue to read the rest of that on the petition page. As of right now, they've got over 3,000 signatures, and I can tell you they are going to hit 5,000 pretty easily. I believe it just started this week. Let's see if it lists the date here. When it was started. I believe it was about a week ago. So in the last week, potentially a little bit less than a week, over 3,000 signatures. If you support this, which hopefully you do, please add your signature as well. I believe not only should Oklahoma have this law, and Florida and pretty much every state should have this. And the sad thing is, there are states out there trying to make it legal to be in a relationship with a child as an adult. It is disgusting. It truly is. Yeah, it's not the same thing as being in a relationship as an adult, period. It's a sickness, and it's got to stop. And these offenders, they need to be locked up for life, 100%. So, like I said, there's just so much going on. And as much as I'm looking into this case daily, I'm doing my best to try to sift through the quote-unquote news that's coming out because, again, as Justin just stated, a lot of the information that's coming from, and this is coming from the families of the other victims, okay? It's not all correct information. Again, that's weird that they would go and tell all these non-facts and these what have you, but for some reason, there's rumors coming out that are just not true, that there was underwear found and Polaroids, not true. So I'm going to keep on this one, guys, again. And as soon as we get some more information from OBSI, and then if the FBI gets involved, it'll probably be even harder to hear any information. But stay tuned on this one, because like I said, it's a lot of crazy stuff coming out, and I'm doing my best to sift through it all. As well intentioned as some of these news outlets are, it just seems like they're not getting the full picture here. With that said, that's all I've got for this one. And sadly, these to me are the 5 innocent victims. Alright guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.